Yes, we are.
Good morning,
Good
everybody,
morning,
and
everyone.
welcome to Monday Morning Motivation.
Yes, welcome to Monday Morning Motivation. We are very, very excited to have you here this morning.
Yes, and we're excited to have our guest from Hangzhou here with us. So today it's all about developing financial awareness. As Helsing said earlier, take out your pen and your paper. And in case you're not in our MMM WeChat group yet, scan the QR code here. We just quickly walk you through everything exciting. You can become an MMM member if you like. We get lots of benefits, like you get access to 1.5 years of our recordings, which is pretty amazing. It's like our own little TED that we have by now. Every Monday morning, we have these webinars. You get discounts with our different partners and so on. We have this beautiful book here. If you ever need daily motivation, you want to write down your goals, you do some gratitude journaling, whatever it is, it's a beautiful present that we created for yourself and for others, basically. If you love what we're doing, because we do this for free, feel free to scan the QR code and you can donate to us as well. And yes, the important thing is we give 50% to the 1 million tree project. So we help plant trees in Inner Mongolia because we like to give back to the environment as well. And yes, if you missed a webinar, no problem. We got you covered. That's our lineup for next month. It's the month of Hangzhou with amazing speakers here. So yes, the cool thing is we're gonna have, that's the new news. We're gonna have a local Hangzhou community. Stay tuned for more details soon, but it is soft opening will be next week. So no, this week. So that's pretty exciting, but stay tuned. So if you're in Hangzhou, you wanna be in our local community chat, let me know or contact Sophia. And with no further ado, the next 20 minutes are yours, dear Helsing. I'm very excited about this. Sophia, anything you want to add?
I'm very, very excited for this topic. It was wonderful to hear Helsing just now, and I'm very excited to go through it once more. Go ahead, the stage is yours, Helsing.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sir Joshua Hellsing-Ghrey, born and raised in the USA. Today, we're going to talk about financial awareness, okay? Before we do that, I'm going to give you 4 questions I want you to ask yourself, okay? I should have done this in the early one. Here we go. So, number 1, what is your specific financial goal, okay? How much money do you want to have by X date? Do you want to be financially free? Do you know how much money you need to have invested to be financially free? Okay. Number 2, what method will you use to achieve that goal? Will you invest in real estate? Will you invest in stocks? Will you invest in both? Okay, that's question number 2. Now, question number 3 is a question that actually jolted me into becoming very aware of my financial situation. Question number 3 is, well, it's actually a task. I want you to write down, just go over the past 5 years. So 2016 to 2021, or 2015 to 2020. For each year, how much money have you actually earned in total, okay? So what was the total amount of money you earned from all those years? And then how much money do you still have now? And how much money is in your asset column, okay? This question, if you ask yourself this, and you honestly answer yourself, the answer just might shock you. Because with me, it was like a punch in the face when I found out. And the last question is, oh, okay, it was combined. So how much money have you earned over the past 5 years in total, gross, before taxes, and how much you have in assets right now? Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick intro about who I am and why I am doing this. My name is Sir Joshua Hellsing-Ghrey. I am doing this because when I was younger, I was in a situation where we had money, and for our environment or neighborhood, it was a lot of money, but because it was mismanaged because the people that had it, they were amazing people, beautiful people, good, caring people. They just didn't know how to manage money because unfortunately, oh man, it's about to get deep. Okay, there are class systems, okay? Class systems exist, and with those, they exist because of the habits that we have. If everybody that doesn't have money started practicing the habits of people that do have money, there would literally be a huge class shift, okay? And one of those things was financial awareness. A lot of people don't understand or are aware of where the money comes from or how to manage it. And in my family, there were not a lot of people who knew how to handle it. I mean, sure, we had some people who were like really rich, but they were not exactly the sharing is caring kind of people, if you know what I mean. So because I grew up in a situation, I learned that I had to find a way to manage money so I could have financial stability. All right. So since a very young age, I was always interested in managing money. Now, fast forward. I go to college. I paid for my early college because that's a cultural thing. But fast forward, I come to China. I'm in China. Okay. It's amazing. I'm living a life, got an apartment, e-bike, girlfriend, everything's amazing. Yes, right? But at the end of the month, I was usually like, money, I need money, help me, please. And it was bad, okay, very bad. And I'm like, why am I like this? What's going on? And I came across a book because I'm always into professional development. I listened to Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Napoleon Hill, and I'm listening. And I in this book, I believe it was called Your Money or Your Life. They asked the question, how much money have you made over the past something? So I sat back and I looked, I said, how much money have I made over the past few years? Now, mind you, I was in China for a few years. And I'm like, how much money have I actually made? And that's why I asked you, how much have you made over the past few years? Well, the answer was startling for me because at the time, I had less than $1,000 in my bank account. I had pretty much like no passive income, maybe like 1 or 2 cents from a checking account every month. And the situation was not to my liking. But I realized when I looked at how much money I made over the past few years, I made over $100,000. Okay. So I made over 100 grand, but I didn't have any of that on hand. So I'm like, something's wrong here. Something's very wrong here. So then I had to become acutely aware of my financial situation. So I started tracking my income. I started tracking where all my income was coming from. And I started playing a game with myself. The game was, how can I increase my income? Like my income this month, if I made 6,000 this month, how can I make 8,000 next month? How can I make 10,000 the next month? And I would meet other people who are making more money than I was, and I learned from them. I'm like, okay, what are you doing that lets you make twice as much as I'm making? And if I was able to, I learned from them, and I started doing it. So many things to say. Now, wow, I feel like I lost myself. Oh, nervous, so nervous. Coming back, I looked at so I also started becoming more, I initiated the first rule of wealth. The first rule of wealth is to pay yourself first, okay? So now from all my income that I'm getting in now, I decided to take 10% of that and I stuck it into a high yield savings account, one that's not easy for me to access, okay? So now I'm strategically paying myself first 10% a month of my gross income is going to that account and it's going to just grow for me. But I didn't know really what to invest in, all right? So mind you, I became more aware of my money. I'm looking at where all my money is going. I'm looking at what money's coming in. I'm working on earning more. I'm paying myself first 10%. And now I'm looking at, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do? I want to become more aware of this. So I made a weekly financial review. I didn't really see these on the internet. So I sat back and I thought to myself, all right, what's important to me? What financial values do I need to look at? And I started to look at those values every month, every week, actually. Where is it? An example of my weekly financial review is I'll look at my goal and I'll look at my main financial goal. So with my main financial goal, I'll have steps that I need to accomplish that week to get closer to that goal. All right. So as I'm getting closer to that goal, I can check it off on the list. Or if I haven't done it, then I'm aware of it because I'm looking at my progress every single week. Okay. So now, as you start to move forward, a friend of mine, my friend's son, he introduced me to an app called Robinhood. He's like, yo, man, with this app, I'm making millions. And I'm like, really? Millions with an app? And then I really got into the world of investing because it seemed like more something that I could really do now. It seemed like something I could really sink my teeth in, so to speak. But something I left out. I have a friend who's an investor, and she invests in real estate in Russia. And she plays a game called Rich Cash Flow 101 by Robert Kiyosaki. I highly, highly, highly recommend you get that game and you play it again and again and again. It'll show you the vicissitudes of the stock market and how to literally invest. And more importantly, it'll put in you this thought that no one else is coming to save you. You got to save yourself financially. Whether it's true or not, some of you come from really well-to-do families, though. Awesome. Are we going to answer that question when it's question time? Thank you, David. I love it. You want to look at, even though some of us come from well-to-do families, if you approach it with the thought that no one is going to save you, you got to save yourself. You're like, okay, I got to do something. I got to change. So I said, okay, what's my plan? I had an idea, a goal. My goal was to have $15,000 in monthly income gross from the stock market. Okay. So my vehicle is the stock market, dividend income. All right. So now I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? I had to start making my plan now. So when you're doing your finances, before you even get into investing, you want to control your financial habits. All right. This is extremely important because the discipline you establish with controlling your financial habits, pay yourself first 10% every month, pay yourself first 10% from all your gross income, monitor your income and expenses, reallocate your income and expenses as need be. The discipline you get from this will help you manage your investments better. Now, do you have any quick questions or comments? David, you had a question?
It's okay. We can wait till later, until the Q&A.
Okay.
Up to you. Yeah.
Okay. So now, we're going to go into the second portion. Some of the steps that you want to take when you are becoming financially aware are, like we stated, one, you need to have a clear financial goal. What do you want? Okay. And an idea of how you're going to get there. Even if you don't see everything clearly, that's okay. Number two, you're going to want to PSF, pay yourself first 10% every month. So you're going to take that money, you're going to stick it away into an account that's not easy to access. Oh my gosh. Whew. Okay, so now after doing this, you're already starting to change the game because not a lot of people do this, okay? So now, next, you're going to start looking at the different type of investments that you can invest in, all right? You're going to start doing research because, you know how you ever heard that old proverb, when a man with knowledge beats a man with money, the man with the knowledge gets the money and the man with the money gets the knowledge, or something like that. It's kind of true. Before you start investing, some people, they go into the market and they're like, yo, man, I got $10,000. I'm going to put it all on this and I'm going to win. Yeah. And then they might lose. Then they cry. They tell people they never want to invest again. That's a bad idea. That's not how you do it. If you really want to invest, you need to take the time to learn the basic mechanics of your investment. Okay. An example is one, dividend paying stocks. How do they work? They pay me dividends. Do they pay dividends every month? every week, every quarter. You need to know this. What's the APY, the annual percentage yield? This tells you how much money you're going to get back. Then you have to look at the fundamentals of the company or the investment. Is it a good investment? Is the EPS to dividend ratio good? What's the price range like of the past few years? These are questions you're going to ask. You're going to need to vet your investments while you're practicing the financial discipline, okay, of becoming financially aware. So next, you're going to start looking at your essentials and your non-essential income, all right? So you're going to take your essential income, the stuff you need to survive, all right? Rent, cell phone, usually in 2021, gas, transportation, what else? Electricity. And then look at your non-essential stuff you don't really need, but you like, excuse me, such as parties, going out with the boys every night after work, mahjong tournaments, things like that. Ice cream, pizza, candy. I like candy, chips. And you're going to look at those non-essentials and you're going to start to take that and move it towards the thing you actually want, okay? Because here's the thing. A lot of people, what happens is we take our money and we say that we don't have enough to invest, right? Because we don't see the whole picture. We don't realize that over the long run, we have a lot of money, all right? That's why I want you to look at how much money you made over the past 5 years, because you actually have a lot of money, but you probably let a lot of it go through your fingers like water because you want to YOLO, enjoy, eat, have pleasure now. But if you really want to get to the top, you got to do what they do. One of the things they do is they delay their gratification. So you're going to take your non-essentials, not Terica recommends taking all of it, but I'm just going to say take half of it. Take half of that money that you spend on your non-essentials and stick it aside to put in your assets, okay? If that means you don't get pizza for like the rest of this month or this year, deal with it. Because the assets that will make you more money will give you a much better life than that pizza could, okay? Whew, where are we? Uh-oh, how are we on time? 3 minutes? Okay, so now what you're gonna start doing is, you start at PSF and you're paying yourself first. You're more aware of your essentials versus non-essential income or expenses. You're increasing your income, all right? You are researching your investments. So you look into your investment vehicle, how you want to invest. You are talking to other people who are actually good at what they do. This is extremely important. Your environment matters so much, okay? Financial awareness is not something that many people do. It's not something that many people care to do. Like I said, there's a big class thing here, okay? I'm going to tell you something personal. Now, I have a credit card. My credit card APY is 24.99%, okay? Credit card APY, 24.99%, all right? So that means if I take $1,000, I'm paying 24.99% on that, all right? But if I take a margin loan, I can get a margin loan for 2.5%, all right? 2.5%. Not everyone knows that because the margin loan is in an arena of people who think differently and use their money differently. So the people who just consume, we've got the huge APY over here, but the people who invest and use their money wisely have the super low APY over here. So this is something that you want to become aware of and control, because the companies, they like to control our spending and get us to spend our money on things we don't need. So we're financing their future, but not ours. Yeah, why am I? So now, next, boom, 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 boom. You're going to want to talk to people who are proven to know what they do. Example, Terica Lynn Smith. She's a millionaire, multimillionaire, real estate developer, okay? There's a difference between an investor and a developer. Developer actually goes in and they build from the ground up. They name the streets, all that stuff, okay? And then there's Jamal King. He is a visionary, also another real estate millionaire. Then who else is there? There's Chris Haroon. Chris Haroon is, I'm pretty sure he's a millionaire. He never told me he was, but I'm pretty sure he is. And he's an investor big time. He worked with many brokerages. These people have given me advice that I can use to work. You want to take advice from people that know what they can do, all right? So for me, why am I here telling you this? I'm telling you this because I took our portfolio from $1 to $23,000 and growing, all right? I didn't hit $1 million yet. I'm going to, but I went from 1 to 23,000. So I figured if I can go from 1 to 23,000, I have something that's working, so I can share that. Whew. Okay, lastly, we talked about environment. You want to surround yourself with other things that encourage your growth, all right? So surround yourself with other investors, good investors, because there are good investors out there who will encourage you, and there are other investors out there who will discourage you and try to poop on your parade. Stay away from them. Just kick them to the side. Bam. Lastly, there's so much because I spent years and years and years, decades developing this and growing in this way. To condense it down into 20 minutes is really challenging, but I do have a course on Hellsing Academy that can teach you what I'm talking about, and it's awesome. Okay, coming back. Dun, dun, dun. Lastly, one of the last things you want to do, and we're going to recap really quickly. You have your plan. You PSF, you pay yourself first. You're controlling your expenses and you're moving things over to the asset column. You are talking with your mentor or other people who are experienced with this, who can help you invest properly. Now you also have, you're going to stay focused on your plan. When you start the PSF and you start to invest, when you're actually doing it, I want to say properly, you're going to get access to a lot of money. I mean, a whole lot of money. And some platforms, if you have a margin loan account, they're going to immediately make available like several $1,000s as soon as you cross their threshold. When that happens, you're going to need to know how to invest that money. Also, when you invest in the stock market period, sometimes things hit and they hit really well. When that happens, you're going to be flush with money. And you need to understand how to use that money, which is why when you have your plan, I want to hit 15,000, I'm going to hit 15,000 by investing in these stocks, you immediately know where to send that money, okay? Well, I feel like I'm giving you just millions of small pieces to the bigger picture. So with this, you want to stay focused on your plan. You want to ignore the distractions that will come, because as the money starts to come, you'll see other get-rich-quick schemes coming or get-rich-quick ideas, and you'll have temptations coming that say, hey, my friends are going to the Bahamas this weekend. If I just take 2,000 out of my portfolio, I can go too. Don't do that, all right? The money that you set aside for investing, pretend it's not even there when you're considering other things. That's money you do not touch at all, because you want this money to continue to grow so you can provide for yourself and your family a better life in the future. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, let's hit the questions. I think I went through everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Hellsing, for this insightful and very well structured talk. I really got lots of new insights from the second talk. So it's amazing the way the first and the second can be really different. The energy of the people is also different. Thank you so much. And now the stage is yours, guys. You can ask the questions you have. Our Q&A session is officially open.
We already have a lot
And
of
we have
questions
one question. Yeah. Just check. So David asked, how do you set your financial goal? How high should I reach? I am worried about being too ambitious.
Okay, that's cool. Ambition is good. Ambition is amazing. Here's something Dr. T told me. Dr. T is an amazing motivational speaker / millionaire. He says, big dreams, small steps. Okay. So, hold on for a second, I need some water. Whew. So, you want to have your goal. You have your goal. You want to spell out what your goal is. You want to make it quantifiable. So you have a cash amount you need or want, how much money you want to get out of it every month or every year, depending on how you want to section it. And you want to start to look at the steps to get there, okay? Connect yourself with people or organizations that have done the thing that you're doing and they'll give you the tips to get there, the tips and tricks to get there. Now, if your goal is extremely large, that's okay. Just chop it into smaller pieces. So for me, my target is to hit 15,000 GPMI, or gross portfolio monthly income. Right now, I'm at $123, okay? So I'm looking at the jumps I need to make to get there. So I'm not gonna say, okay, I'm gonna hit 15,000 this month, and it's gonna be awesome. Because if I don't, I'm gonna be like, oh, why am I doing this? So instead, I'll make it smaller. Like I'll increase this month by maybe $10. And then next month, I'll increase by maybe 15. And I'll find more ways to increase it as I go on. So big goals are extremely important. They move you. Just have small steps along the way. Did I answer your question?
Thanks, Helsing. That's helpful.
Oh, no worries, brother. No worries. Thank you
All
for
right.
asking.
Thank you so much, Helsing. All right, we have some more questions. So iHack says, I am so excited, curious. I wonder the people who love to take advantage of money, like Miaosha, or shopping spree in 1 yuan, 9.9 yuan, or why my 1 free for 1 free, especially in Double 11 festivals. How to avoid the addictions in money schemes like e-shopping sprees that based on high productions, wastes, pollutions. How to save, not waste. What's your take on this?
So you're asking, the question is how to avoid all of the big shopping lures out there, like the big shopping festivals, how to avoid those? Is that the question?
iHack, feel free to unmute yourself.
Okay. So I've got two answers to that. Two answers. One is, oh man, this is so much. It depends on the level that you're at. Because I can give you a strict answer, but if it's too strict, you're not gonna follow it. So it depends on the level of that you're currently at. So one, I could say, ignore it, just stop. When those shopping holidays are coming, take your money, stick it aside, don't touch it, ignore the shopping holidays, go with your friends, drink some water, some pop, go to a movie, enjoy yourself. Hey, watch a movie at home. There are other alternatives to just going outside and following the crowd and spending all your money on that stuff. So that's one, just avoid it. Also, number two, if it's something you actually want or need, if there are essentials that are going to go on sale, if that's going to happen, then you can actually use it to your advantage. So if they've got some essentials that you want that are going to go on sale, save your money up for that date. And then when that time comes, get all your essentials, all right? Stock up on them. Literally get like a 2, 3, 6 month supply of those essentials at a really cheap price. And then the money you save, immediately the money you save from that, stick that into your asset column. Lastly, number three, the last option is with your income, with your money, take the money that you plan to invest and keep it there. All right, keep it in your investments. Don't touch it. Do not take from that. As long as that money is going towards your investments, you're fine. You can spend a little on this other stuff if you want to, but make sure no matter what, your money meant for investing stays in the investment column, okay? Your money for your assets stays there. Never pull from that, unless it's like a super big emergency. Okay.
All right, thank you. So the next question is, so iPhone is asking, thank you for the great talk. You mentioned dividend giving stocks. What about cryptos? What are your thoughts on that?
It's
a big topic.
Okay, how much time do we have? Here's my thought on crypto. There is a way to buy cryptocurrency and stocks in such a way that you get your money back and you still have some crypto left over. And if you use that way, you can build up a lot of crypto over time. That's just something I learned. Next, I think cryptocurrency is cool. I think it's awesome. I think that it is a good investment if you understand it and you understand what you're doing. Don't just grab a random cryptocurrency and jump in. I've done that sometimes. Don't do that. You want to understand what you're investing in. And with crypto, I think, because I'm not a really experienced cryptocurrency investor. I do invest in crypto, but my main strategy is to use dividend paying stocks. So with crypto, I want to say it's more of a long-term thing. So example, I invested in Dogecoin. I was using that method to get free Dogecoin, and I stopped because I stopped and I had about 80,000 cryptocurrencies in Dogecoin, and I sold those 80,000 for $200, right? That was a mistake. 6 months later, the price went up so high that I saw I could have gotten like more than 20,000 from it. So I want to say with cryptocurrency, if you're investing in it, make sure that you're investing in the right one. Have some kind of criteria by which you evaluate your cryptocurrency, like be able to judge it properly. That's extremely important. Put the money in and let it stay there for a while. Just let it stay for a while. I'm thinking, I've seen that with most of my investments, there's a 6-month incubation period before they really jump. So crypto's cool, invest wisely, be patient. That's what I think.
All right. Thank you so much. And we have our wonderful Dino with us today. Thanks for joining. And you have a question, right?
Yes, I have a quick question. I just want to say thank you, brother, for the wonderful presentation. I think that, this is something that everybody needs to jump on now, get into Helsing course and really level up your financial intelligence. But I have this question, and I'm asking on behalf of people from more underdeveloped countries or maybe developing countries. Like I'm from the Caribbean, so things like stocks may not be available to people in those countries. What other investment options can you suggest to persons in that realm? Because I've read a lot about investment, but most of the options are maybe for people in Europe, America. So when you're from the Caribbean or maybe certain places in Africa, your options are limited. Are there any other options or method that you would suggest or could suggest at this time?
Oh, wow. Okay, you asked me a really good question. That's it's perplexed me as well over a long period of time. And it's because different investment vehicles are legally open to people in different situations or nationalities or so on and so forth. So for you, if I were you, and you said you're from the Caribbean, right? All right, I'd literally just Google investment vehicles in the Caribbean. Some of the most basic ones are real estate. Real estate is like a worldwide thing, all over the world. I don't know what the laws are concerning real estate in your country, but oh wow. Okay, I'm going to give you something, all right? I'm going to give you something, but it might sound a little different, okay? Here's what I would say. If I'm not allowed to invest in stocks and I'm not allowed to invest in cryptocurrency and I want to make some money investing somewhere, I'm either going to A, start my own business, okay? Or B, get into real estate, or C, get into real estate crowdfunding, okay? So real estate crowdfunding would be basically, you get with your friends and you guys form a corporation together, then you start to buy and sell real estate in your country. That seems like one of the most plausible options, but I don't know the laws in your country. So I'm saying this without understanding the legal landscape of your country. So you'd have to understand what you can do and can't do legally on those premises. But this is just an idea. And lastly, push come to shove, Google it, Bing it, look at investments that I can make in this country because someone is making investments. Someone is doing it. So if they can do it, you got the option too, somewhere. Also hit me, DM me if you want to talk more about that.
You two should definitely connect because you basically have a Hangzhou connection as well. So I'm surprised you two don't know each other in person yet.
Yeah.
I
Thank
think
you
we
so
can have,
much, Elsie.
yeah, let's have one last question and then we will wrap it up.
Any questions?
Wow, I'm surprised. We had so many questions earlier, but that's a really good sign. It seems like you answered everything for us. Thank you very much, dear Helsing. So guys, I want to show you, this is the lineup for next week. We have amazing Angie with us. Yes, another person from Hangzhou. As we said, this is the month of Hangzhou for Monday morning motivation. And Angie is going to speak about empower yourself and drive your life. Yes, and Sophia's already in Hangzhou. I'm going to be in Hangzhou in 2 days. So if you want to join us for an event, we're going to have a soft opening. Yes, so let us know, contact us. Other than that, if you want to become a member to get access to all of our recordings for low money, you get huge value, 1.5 years of recordings, discounts with all of our partners in language, health products, health coaching, business, etc. We have this beautiful book also as an e-version, which is more environmentally free if you need a nice present, for example. And yeah, if you love what MMM is doing, we don't get paid for this, right? So feel free to donate, and we give 50% to the 1 Million Tree Project. So basically we help that they can plant trees in Inner Mongolia, which is good for the whole environment, right? And do we have another question for Mr. Helsing? Last chance. Seems like we have satisfied people here.
Wait, can I say one thing before we end?
Of course.
Okay, so before we end, I want to say, when it comes to financial awareness and investing, there are some portions of it, just like with anything, whether it's a relationship, marriage, growth, anything that requires growth, there are going to be some portions of it where it gets boring, sometimes very boring. Sometimes you're not going to want to do the research on the company. Sometimes you're not going to want to do the financial review. Sometimes you're going to be like, why am I doing this? It's wu yao, fishing wu yao. However, that's a part of the process. So you need to, if you really, really want to get to that point where you are financially free, and or at least totally fully aware of your finances so you can move yourself to a better position, you must be willing to do the work. Because the world currently is catering to people who are not willing to do the work. It wants to give us all these things that are easy, fun, tasty, but not good for us. So in the end, people who don't put in that work, they might find themselves having to put in a lot more work later on down the line when it's even more painful. So do the work now, enjoy the result later, as opposed to party now, cry later. Okay, I hope that wasn't too negative.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much, Helsing.
Thank you.
It was a great start in the day with you. And guys, wherever you are in the world, happy Monday. Go out there, start taking action, at least one step. Yes, Sophia?
Yes, happy Monday, everyone. Have a great day. And for the ones that are watching us from China, have a happy Mid-Autumn Festival. I hope you are having your holiday. Thank you for joining anyways. And a great morning, everyone.
And connect with Helsing in the WeChat groups. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And thank you so much, Elsie. Have a great day too.
Yes, thank you. Bye.